Two West Coast teams in the Eastern Hemisphere. It's the coast. This is week 6 of the NFL on EA Sports. The Seahawks had to travel 4,781 miles for their road game. But the Raiders flew 5,345 miles for their home game. It's Seattle and Oakland from London, England. I'll be back with you at halftime, but first, it's off to London as we say good day to our announcers, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you. We are over 4,000 miles away from where you're seated in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England, and Wembley Stadium. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one, between the Seattle Seahawks and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
And I thought in last week's game, he found a way to win, like a good pitcher, without his best stuff. I mean, he did throw 2 interceptions, offset by 1 touchdown pass. Not the ratio, not the numbers you're really looking for as a QB. But finding a way to win, that's all that really matters.
On the carry, here's Marshawn Lynch. And he'll get this one up to the 26. It was Jaron Reed who got him down. And the offensive starters here for the Raiders.
Come out of the backfield as Marshawn Lynch, and there was so much attention on him in 2017 after a year away from the NFL, and he produced with over 800 yards and 7 touchdowns on the ground. But I thought they started slowly with him in 2017. I think in 2018, he's going to get the ball pretty fast and pretty often.
Here's Carr finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. And a look at Seattle's defense.
And free safety Earl Thomas has a list of accomplishments as long as anyone's arm. But the thing I think about with him at all times, no matter what happens in front of him on the defensive end of the ball, he's back there to erase any mistakes that happen. The top guy in the league, as far as I'm concerned, in that category.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he is going to get the 1st down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Following the penalty, Lynch. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. So a first-quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost them.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. His throw caught right around the 6. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good. That middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that. Yeah,
it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well. And he's got it.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Will Dissly, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability, as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well-organized, well-coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Out to kick is Janikowski. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Raiders. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the 2nd sentence of the coach's address?
And there's so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
No surprise watching Marshawn Lynch scatter bodies as he runs, but I remember doing games of his at Cal, and I remember the moves, the jump cuts, the elusiveness, as well as the strength.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
Carr going to try and throw on third down. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the first down.
Now a play fake here on first down. And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. The best name in the NFL, Barkevious Mingo. And it'll be a second and long.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
That catch good for 5. It's third down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
A gain of 32 that time. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now
blitz coming, and down he goes. The former first-rounder Barkevious Mingo. And it'll make this a second and long. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. It's a close game here early on. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a third and long here. Shotgun now for Carr. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar.
Circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Carr gives to Rashard. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, he's just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. They'll give it to him up the middle, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack.
And it's caught. Roberts has it for a Raider touchdown. Seth Roberts, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders have drawn even here, and they can take the lead with the extra point to come. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Tavecchio now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the shotgun, Wilson being chased out left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. It's a big hook up there. Wilson to Baldwin, 58 yards. They go play action here on first down. Buying time to his left. Fighting him off. Staying on his feet. Forced out to his left. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent game,
still
but
first
all
down.
for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the gun, it's Wilson. Flush to his right. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. They go play action with Wilson. Out to his left. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. So 1:55 to go in the first half. Back to the booth right after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 3rd and 1, Wilson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. On now, Sebastian Janikowski against his former team. He's the all-time leading scorer in Raider history. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And Janikowski bangs it through, and they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A great play there. 98 yards. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. Such an electric play, so much fun to watch, and you need all 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork, to be able to put it all together. But that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on them.
It's caught inside the 25. It's a big hook up there. Wilson to Baldwin. 56 yards. First down now, but that clock rolling. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. Dancing to his left. There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. Out to kick is Janikowski. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match at a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Carr. To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Amari Cooper, 76 yards. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the lead is up to 5. Vecchio now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Doug Baldwin and company getting ready to go again on offense. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And this one's incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And now it's third down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
On third down, Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. He's got a man, complete. A big gain of 31 on third down. First down now, but that clock rolling. On first and 10, it's Wilson being chased out left. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Wilson throwing again. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a third and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And he's got a man open. That's Marshall. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now a timeout called with 3 seconds to go. And, of course, they're in field goal range in the final seconds of this first half. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Gilchrist. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action.
Pass interference. Defense.
So that PI call will give them one more play.
And it'll be an untimed play as well. Now the half will end after this one unless there's another defensive penalty.
The final shot before break. Wilson. And it's caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. So we've come to halftime in a 5-point game. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll start up in the Twin Cities. Arizona in town to take on Minnesota. And that game tied at 7 in the second quarter. From there, we'll head to Cincinnati to check on the Bengals at home at Paul Brown Stadium. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, has a touchdown pass. Finally, we're off to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Tampa Bay Bucs. The Falcons locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. And out now come the Seahawks. They've been able to move the ball well in the air, and certainly a big reason why those receiving corps have been excellent.
There's no doubt about it, partner. And let's face it, when they get away from defenders, those guys are quick. And when they go over the top of people and use their bodies, they're just thick. But let's face it, what we're seeing right now are catches that are simply sick.
Well, you brought your A game. You're fired up over those catches, aren't you?
Can't help it. Even as a former defensive back, I've got to tip my cap to these guys. They are balling.
I appreciate that. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Play action. It's Wilson sliding out of the pocket. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Rashawn Melvin, and he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Carr to throw on 2nd down. And complete right side to Cook. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. A Raiders 1st down. Carr hooking up with Cook.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down. On second down, here's Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards. And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
They ran that one well. And not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
A 10th carry of the game for Marshawn Lynch. Tackle made there by Frank Clark.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Carr to throw after the play fake to Lynch. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment. But here, he's one that has to absorb the contact. And as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
To throw on third down. Carr under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Frank Clark in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to fourth down.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead. I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 44. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in London. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And it's hauled in by Ed Dixon. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. It's caught right side, Dixon. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Steps away. And that is out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And now it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They go play action now. Wilson rolling to his left. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in the 4th.
It's not a great revelation to say that it's going to take a lot to replace what Jimmy Graham gave this club from the tight end position, especially in the red zone. But that had to be an encouraging sight for Russell Wilson right there as he finds one of his replacements for the touchdown.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Wilson will throw again. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
Well, that decision to me was all about pulling up the chart. You know, that beautiful chart that tells you when to go for 2, when to go for 1. I do love it. It helps you with your decision-making during heated times. And just look at it right here in this point of the game. Go for 2. Try making a field goal difference.
But now just up 1 makes the rest of this 4th quarter a little more interesting.
Yeah, they followed the chart. They just didn't get the 2 points on the board, did they?
Nope. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And I hate to point to that missed field goal from their last drive, but you look at the scoreboard, they would be in the lead if they had that 3.
Well, no doubt those points or those missed points do loom large. But here they're getting a chance for a makeup, aren't they? Almost like my time in school. I was always begging my teachers for a makeup exam. Here's their opportunity now to put those points on the board.
And every point becoming more vital here in the second half. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now Carr over the middle. It's Jared Cook. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Shotgun now for Carr. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Cook. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Third touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead.
You know, sometimes the guy on the defensive side of the ball, he just has a good feeling or a good read, and he unleashed his defense on that one. Boy, they stopped them in a big way.
Yeah, I hate to be cliche, but sometimes we overanalyze. They just have more want. Looked like they had more want right there. More
want and more people to the ball.
And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. They go play action with Wilson. They'll roll him out right. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. 2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. Escaping the pressure right. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
On 1st down, Wilson buying time to his left. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Play action. Now Wilson. He'll buy some time right. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. They'll look to throw. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. Forced out to his left. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. Back to throw. Steps away to his left. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. He'll look to throw. On the move to his left. And this is complete. It's Marshall. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. He's back to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Nice gain of 8 that time, but it's 2nd and goal. Clock running, and the Seahawks, they're running too, trying to speed up to the line of scrimmage. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Back to throw. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete. So this defense, they looked a little shaky to start the drive, but bottom line, they're a play away from finishing it off.
They rocked him a little bit on this drive, didn't they? But as you and I both know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. They have a chance to end it right here.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
How many people watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one, because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
And he will not get there. He comes up short. And they're unable to push this lead to a field goal as it'll remain a 1-point game. So they're unable to stretch it to a 3-point lead. Now you got to be careful on the kickoff because a field goal obviously beats you.
Definitely, and that's why they went for 2. They wanted to make sure a field goal wouldn't beat them. Now they're in a position where they've got to cover well and make sure they don't get into range and put one through the posts.
And the Seahawks defense working their way back out onto the field. And everything's going to rest on this drive. Can they keep them out of field goal range, because a field goal would win it?
So now you're in that position of you can't just back off and give them easy throws. At the same time, you don't want to press them so hard they go over the top and beat you deep. So you're playing a tight defense with an idea that you have the lead, whatever you do. Don't let them in the field goal range and give that up.
Maybe tight, but not too tight. Right?
Exactly. I mean, it's perfect, right? It's kind of like lacing up your shoes. Get it exactly right and no more.
See if they lace them right. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. So it all rests now on the left foot of Giorgio Tavecchio. This from 51 yards for the win. And this kick is not going to get there. It's short and no good. Well, befitting a tight game like this, it all came down to the wire. But in the end, the field goal to win, it goes begging.
Oh, man, that is a tough way to lose a football game. You put yourself in position, and you give yourself a chance, but it's just not meant to be.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Seahawks, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And now it's
you